Today, we're going to review UBank. We're going to look at the good, bad, and the ugly around their home loans.
Yeah, we're going to find out if you should bother or you should avoid them.
Let's dive right in.
Jayden and Nathan here from Galloway, the home for home buyers across Australia. If you like the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up and remember to subscribe below.
So today we're going to look at UBank. Interestingly, they're owned by NAB, Australia's fourth largest bank.
Yeah, so UBank are an online only lender. It means that you can't sort of rock up, do your banking, and you've got to go through a call center to kind of access them. But they do have some pretty good products. So today we're going to run through the 3 things they're good at.
And we're also going to look at the 3 things they're not so good at. So starting off on the top, Jayden, what are the 3 things UBank do really well from a home loan perspective?
So UBank are pretty good at refinancing. If you've got an existing loan and if you've got at least 20% equity, so you've got to be borrowing less than 80%, UBank are a great spot. They've got some pretty competitive rates and they're not too bad if you're not in a rush. We'll come back to that in a sec.
The second thing UBank are good at is they've got lower interest rates for larger deposits. So as we said before, typically you need a 20% or greater equity in the property and you have access to a lot of their low rates.
So because they're an online only bank, they can offer slightly cheaper rates for people that are refinancing compared to say NAB who have to support a branch network and different things. So yeah, it's actually not a bad feature of UBank.
And the third thing that they're good at is they have no fees. So Jayden, what does this one look like here?
Again, because they're online only, they've got some pretty simple products, which again, we're gonna come back to in kind of the bad part, but there's also no fees. So if you're annoyed at your annual package fee or the bank charging you different fees for just having an account, UBank might be a good option for you. So
we've looked at the 3 things UBank do really well at. Now let's have a look at the things they don't do so well at. So Jayden, what's the first one here?
Yeah, so UBank, although they've got some pretty cheap and easy products, they don't do a lot of things. And the things they don't do is offset accounts. So if you're looking at, say, an investment property, they're not gonna be great. So if you're building a home or taking advantage of the home builder grant, UBank aren't gonna be great for you. And the third thing they won't do is help people who are self-employed. And this becomes really tricky because a lot of times and a lot of the complaints, which we'll show you in a tick, are from people that just apply through UBank thinking that they're gonna be all fine, can apply and get the loan, but they're self-employed and they just get knocked back straight up. So just be careful with UBank. They're really simple and they're easy if you've got an existing loan to refinance, but if you're purchasing and doing something a little bit out of the ordinary, they're not gonna be a great home for you.
That's right, Jayden, they are very conservative. So if you're slightly outside of the box, it might not be a lender for you. The second thing UBank aren't so great at is their customer service piece. So Jayden, what does this one look like?
Yeah, so being an online only bank means that if you want to call up, even during the application process, you've got to go through a call center. And this can lead to a pretty frustrating process. Like you can see from a couple of these reviews that will flash up on the screen now, there are lots of regular complaints from would-be customers of UBank saying that they've got terrible customer service, that you've got to deal with waiting times on the call center, and you don't actually know who's looking after your application when it's going through the process. So it can lead to lots of frustrations. We've even had a lot of customers come to us after they've tried to apply through UBank, where they just had their application pinged around, they were trying to purchase a place, they had a finance clause, and after a month of delays and getting switched from different people that said, I can't deal with this, it's not worth the headache, and ended up coming to us and we helped them out, because obviously you're dealing with one person. So that can be a big frustration. If you're dealing with a tight time frame like a purchase, then UBank may not be the right fit for you.
So the third thing UBank aren't so good at is if you've got a low deposit. So typically they want 20% or more, so if you've got less than a 20% deposit, UBank isn't the lender for you.
Unlike NAB and other banks who have lenders mortgage insurance, UBank just look after themselves, and that's why they need a minimum of 20% deposit. If you don't have that, they're just gonna knock you back straight away. So just be aware of that. If you do have less, it's just not gonna be the home for you.
This particularly can be a big issue if you are trying to refinance and you're close to that 80% mark and your valuation comes in low. So do be careful with this because there's no point in doing an application and getting knocked back and having that on your credit file. So that's it for today, guys. Did you know at Galloway, we help home buyers right across Australia. So feel free to hit us up at huntergalloway.com.au. And as always, thanks for watching.
See ya.